Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a chat about another new set that's coming out in China. And here's the deal, right? When new sets come out in, say, Korea, we generally don't tend to spend much time talking about them because we don't need to. When new sets come out in Hong Kong and Taiwan, we generally don't spend very much time talking about them because we don't need to. But when new sets come out in mainland China, we need to talk about them because they're different. They're not the same. When China drops a new set, it's not like the rest of the world where they're like, hey, so we took that set that originated in Japan and we've, translated it into our home language. Yay! No. When China drops a new set, they go, hey, so here's this new set, and it's an amalgamation of different sets, and it's very much not like any set you've seen before. Oh yeah, and by the way, we've gone and put a couple of new exclusive secret rares in that you literally haven't seen anywhere else. Because why would we not drop a new set without a bunch of new secret rares that you've not seen anywhere else? Yeah. That's why when China drops a new set, I'm talking about mainland China, simplified Chinese, that's why we go and do videos about those sets, whereas we don't for, say, Hong Kong, Taiwan, traditional Chinese, why we don't for Korea. Because actually, these things are different, and they have very different sets. Now, broadly, this is actually a pretty big set coming out in China because it is where the Paradox Pokemon come to play. They've got a new set, and it's Paradox Pokemon. For some reason, and I do think we need to have a little bit of a chat about this, in what world does Iron Valiant get the cover? If you've played through Scarlet and Violet, you'll know that Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon are essentially equivalent Pokemon. They are the big, fancy, future or past Paradox Pokemon. That's what they are, that's what they do. But in the Pokemon trading card game, we've had these cards for a while, and Iron Valiant is fine, has popped up in a few decks here and there, occasionally makes a little bit of a cameo appearance in the game, etc., etc., and Roaring Moon has been busted pretty much since it came out. It made the final of the World Championships last year. Make no mistake about it, this is a legitimately, last calendar year, technically the season before last. But that's not the point. The point is, Roaring Moon is great, Iron Valiant is fine. Why does Iron Valiant get the cover? Boo, hiss, etc. But we are talking Paradox Pokemon. We've got Iron Valiant, we've got Roaring Moon, as previously mentioned. We've got Sandy Shock CX. And let's face it, we know that we're going to be getting some kind of new special illustration rare. And we are. It's Iron Hands. And incidentally, great choice here. Because as much as I've been telling you how great Roaring Moon is, and it is, there is a very, very strong argument that actually Iron Hands is the best of the Paradox Pokemon. You look at the Paradox Pokemon EX, strong argument that Iron Hands is the best. Did we need a special illustration rare of Iron Hands EX? Heck no. We got one in Paradox Rift, which is where we got Iron Hands. And then we got a second one in Prismatic Evolutions. We absolutely did not need a third version of this card. But I'm kind of happy we got one. Seriously, this is awesome. A big fan of this card. And I just think they've absolutely nailed the assignment artwork-wise. Tonji Matsuno has done a great job, and I think this might be the best of the three. Plus, it's Iron Hands doing the hands. I have been on stream multiple times doing the Iron hands when someone pulls off a big play with this card. Love that we're getting it here. This is awesome. And just as a reminder, Iron Hands is like a legitimately great card. It's not a good card. It's a legitimately great card. Because for 4 energy, and yes, I know 4 energy is a lot, you only do 120 damage. But if you take a prize, you take an extra prize. If you take a KO, you take one more prize than you would be taking. So 2 prize Pokemon, you take 3 prizes. But a lot of the time, what you're really looking for here is you KO a single prize Pokemon, a little evolving basic, and yet it still gives up 2 prizes. That's kind of huge, honestly. Big deal. Great card. Absolutely love this. And the fact that it only needs 1 lightning energy has been the reason why it's been teched into so many different decks since it came around. Because, we've seen it in Chen Pao. Because you can play 1 lightning and the rest of the deck's water. And now all of a sudden you can still play this because, well, you only need 1 lightning. So it's just an infinitely techable card. The general rule has been, if you can play this card, you are going to be playing this card. That has been the rule for a while, and it's still seeing play in a whole bunch of decks. Gold and Go decks have been playing this one a bit more recently. I don't know if Gold and Go is actually in this set. It was in Paradox Rift for us, so if they're not getting it in China, they're getting it very soon. I love this. It's just a really nice special illustration rare. And I know that some of you are going to be looking at this, will go, and hang on a second. What are we supposed to do in terms of picking this up? And my answer to you is, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean, but as with all of these things, if you really like this card, there will be ways to pick this up on the secondary market. So, good luck, frankly. Good luck. But there is actually one more, and this one's kind of amazing. It's Gold Powpad. And the reason it's such a cool card, firstly, it sees a huge amount of play. Gets a couple of supporter cards from your discard power back into your deck. Legitimately great card. Sees a huge amount of play, always has done, probably always will, for as long as it's legal, which is one of those cards that does tend to keep coming back around. But what's weird about this, we've never had a fancy version of Powpad. We had Powpad back in Flashfire. We've had 3 separate reprints since, most recently in Scarlet and Violet. And in the 4 sets where we've had Powpad coming around as a card, there's been no full art, no gold, no nothing. We have never had a fancy version of Powpad. That's weird, right? Also, fun little note that in Japanese, it's literally just friend notebook. And there's something about that which makes me legitimately happy. But the point I'm making is, this is a card that we've had around for a long time, that's had a bunch of printings, and has just never had a fancy version. There is a really nice alternate art that Japan had that we never did. And they've had, in Japan, stamped versions of it, like this absolute beauty. There's 4 stamped versions, but this one's my favourite. But we've never had a fancy version of it, like a gold or a full art or anything along those lines. And certainly in English, we've just had regular prints of it. So the idea of having a gold version of Powpad coming out of nowhere as a Chinese exclusive is honestly kind of wild to me. And I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And this is gonna keep happening over in China at this stage. I think that's pretty set at this point. Like, they're getting the new Countercatcher. Fun fact, we've had 2 gold versions of Countercatcher over the years. But yet, Powpad is now a Chinese exclusive, and they're the only ones that get it. And those cards aren't legal in, like, Europe, North America, incidentally, so good luck, frankly. Because when we look at these cards, I don't think we're getting them. It's a question I always get whenever I make videos like this. I always get questioned, essentially, of, all right, Wassy, can we have this? Like the Larry Special Illustration Rare or the Gold Defiance Band that I showed you from that Charizard set, which was the last one. They were the 2 fancy cards that came in the last set, and I had questions then from people being like, well, all right then, can we have these? No. Like, China's done a bunch of exclusive cards at this point, and the reality is, we don't get them. We haven't had them, And frankly, there's no reason to believe that we're going to get them now. So no, I don't think they're coming anywhere else. I think this is just a case of China gets them, and if you want them for your binder or whatever, you best go try and get them from China. And I'll be wishing you good luck. But I've told, and also, as always, they do come in 5 and 25 card packs. That's the way Chinese packs work. We've said this before, but just if you are importing from China, do please make sure that you are aware of the fact that there are 5 and 25 card packs. There, I've said it. Now it's over to you guys. So let me know in the comment section, would you get us? Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Tamberlin, who's been a support of ours for a long time now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.